In 2017, in Khao Swan Quang District, Khon Kaen Province in northeastern Thailand, a newlywed couple began their life together. The bride, Warasara Klinjui, was a vibrant, beautiful young woman with a gentle demeanor. The groom, a young and talented construction contractor, boasted solid financial stability. After their wedding, they shared a blissful period, deeply in love. Though the husband's work often took him away on business trips, he always made time to cherish his wife upon returning. Their bond was so tight-knit that it sparked envy among those around them. But in the spring of that year, a shocking tragedy struck when the young wife became the victim of a gruesome murder that sent shockwaves across Thailand. You're watching True Crime in the World, where we unravel the most mysterious cases and gripping stories. As always, before we dive into decoding the mysteries of today's case, please leave a like and subscribe to support us. Now, let's uncover the details of this chilling case. The story unfolds in Khon Kaen Province, located in northeastern Thailand, often referred to as Khon Kaen. It's a key city recognized by the United Nations for its socio-economic development plans, alongside Chiang Mai, Songkhla, Nakhon, and Chonburi. Khao Swan Quang District, in the northern part of Khon Kaen, is rich in natural resources, with an economy rooted in agriculture, making it a vital hub for northeastern Thailand's farming industry. The area also boasts captivating tourist attractions, including temples, lakes, and nature parks. On Thursday, May 25, 2017, a farmer was foraging for mushrooms in a forest in Khao Swan Quang District. He ran a homestay and planned to prepare a signature dish for his guests. Mushrooms typically grow in low shrubs nestled in damp, shaded grass. As he searched, something caught his eye in a pile of dry grass nearby. Spotting 3 large sheets of corrugated metal, he recalled from experience that the ground beneath such sheets stays moist, perfect for mushrooms. Curious, he approached to investigate, but as he drew closer, a foul stench filled the air. Suppressing his discomfort, he lifted one of the sheets. Beneath it was a shallow pit containing 2 plastic barrels, the source of the putrid odor. Driven by curiosity, he pulled a black plastic bag from one barrel. Upon opening it, he was horrified to discover human body parts inside. Terrified, he immediately alerted the police. Upon receiving the report, police swiftly arrived and sealed off the scene. They inspected the barrels and found 2 dismembered torsos. Forensic examination confirmed both belonged to a woman. The victim had been severed at the waist, her arms detached, with no signs of organ removal. Marks of a struggle were evident, though there was no evidence of sexual assault. A deep ligature mark around her neck revealed the cause of death: strangulation. Despite early decomposition, the victim appeared to be a young, slender woman. Police collected the victim's fingerprints and noted a distinctive butterfly tattoo on her body, cross-referencing it with recent missing persons reports. By late that evening, they identified her through the missing persons database: Warasara Klinjui, 23, from Bangkok. Warasara worked as a liquor promoter at a bar. Her mother had reported her missing the previous day. It was known that 3 months before the incident, Warasara had married a man, referred to here as A. Their marriage was reportedly happy and harmonious. She was friendly, well-mannered, and had no known enemies. But as police dug deeper, they uncovered critical clues. On the surface, Warasara's job involved promoting liquor at a bar, using her charm to encourage patrons to spend more. However, the role also involved sensitive activities. She engaged in intimate interactions with clients, including physical transactions. Warasara maintained a private clientele, fostering relationships with both men and women. Even after marriage, she continued her old lifestyle, including an intimate relationship with a woman we'll call B. Police identified 2 primary suspects. The first was her husband, A, under the theory that he killed her upon discovering her infidelity. The second was B, her lover, who might have acted out of jealousy over Warasara's marriage. The investigation promptly zeroed in on both. During this time, the case began drawing media attention. Headlines dubbed it a same-sex love triangle, fueling intense public interest across Thailand. B was the first summoned for questioning. She stated that she hadn't been able to contact Warasara since the evening of May 22nd. On May 24th, B called Warasara's mother to check on her. The mother revealed that Warasara's husband, A, had left for a business trip on May 20th, and Warisara hadn't gone with him. Sensing something was amiss, B urged the mother to report her missing to the police. During questioning, B cooperated fully and provided a solid alibi, clearing her of suspicion. B believed Warisara's husband was the likely culprit. She suspected he'd learned of the affair and fabricated the business trip story to deflect attention. In reality, he might have stayed in town, killed Warisara, then left to establish an alibi. Upon hearing of his wife's death, A rushed back from his work site. He told police he'd been away since May 20th and only returned upon learning of the tragedy. Regarding his wife's infidelity, he claimed he was unaware until reading news reports, insisting he knew nothing prior. Police reviewed surveillance footage from A's workplace, confirming his presence at the construction site from May 20th until Warisara's body was found on May 25th, overseeing operations. Colleagues vouched for him. After thorough scrutiny, police deemed A's alibi credible, officially ruling him out. Thus, the same-sex love triangle theory collapsed, leaving the case at a dead end. A shifting focus, police made a breakthrough after further investigation. Warisara was last seen on the afternoon of May 23rd, working at the bar. Surveillance from the bar, a nearby convenience store, and an ATM showed that later that evening, she used the ATM, then got into a car with a man. Fortunately, the cameras captured the man's face and the car's license plate clearly. Facial recognition quickly identified him. Wazin Nam Prom, 22, married, and a co-worker of Warisara's at the bar. The license plate revealed the car was a rental, and after the crime, it was heading toward the border. Wasin was named a direct suspect, designated the primary target, and a warrant was issued. On May 27th, Wasin and his wife were arrested. In her handbag, police found Warisara's phone, which the couple planned to sell. Wasin admitted involvement, but insisted his wife was uninvolved, only tasked with disposing of personal items. He claimed the real culprits were 3 women from the bar. Police brought him to the dump site to reenact the crime, and combined with collected evidence, the full truth began to emerge. The mastermind was identified as Preyanuk Non Wangchai, 25, a bar hostess and Warisara's co-worker. She was a social media star, flaunting designer goods and posing as a wealthy heiress. In reality, Preyanuk came from a troubled family in Khon Kaen. Financial hardship forced her to drop out of school early to survive. After years of work, she saved enough for cosmetic surgery to transform her appearance. With her new look, Preyanuk secretly offered escort services at the bar and hosted risque live streams and revealing outfits to boost income, a stark contrast to the glamorous image she projected online. As for the motive, though they appeared friendly, Preyanuk and Warisara's relationship had soured a year earlier. In 2016, Warisara borrowed 40,000 Thai baht, approximately $1,100 in 2025 from Preyanuk, but failed to repay it fully over the years, sparking heated disputes. During that time, Preyanuk's boyfriend was jailed for drug trafficking, and she suspected Warisara had tipped off the police, sabotaging her and her boyfriend. Fueled by resentment, Preyanuk recruited 2 close friends, Kawita Rachada, 26, and Apiwan Satayabundit, 28, to teach Warisara a lesson. They enlisted Wasin, another bar worker, instructing him to lure Warisara out under the pretense of meeting a client, then bring her to the car. The plan went off without a hitch. Warisara, unsuspecting, got into the car carefree. But upon seeing Preyanuk and the other women inside, she sensed danger and tried to leap out. The trio quickly subdued her. They taunted and threatened Warisara, then brutally assaulted her. Despite fighting back, Warisara couldn't break free. In a rage, she shouted, "If you touch me, my husband won't let you get away." Initially, Preyanuk's group only intended to scare her, but this threat sent their anger spiraling. At that moment, Wasin, behind the wheel, casually remarked, "Why not finish her off and be done with it?" Shockingly, his offhand comment was met with agreement. Preyanuk grabbed a plastic bag, wrapped it tightly around Warisara's neck, while the others pinned her limbs. They held firm until she stopped breathing. Realizing Warisara was dead, none showed panic or remorse. Instead, they discussed disposing of her body. They bought a saw, 2 plastic barrels, plastic bags, and 3 large metal sheets. Wasin drove to a rural guest house nearby, renting a room. There, they dismembered Warisara, wrapped the parts in plastic, and placed them in the barrels. Afterward, they headed to a nearby forest, dug a shallow pit, dumped the barrels, and covered them with the metal sheets to conceal their crime. With the deed done, all four fled. Wasan and his wife escaped to Laos, instructing her to destroy Warisara's phone and belongings. Meanwhile, the three women drove 11 hours to Myanmar. After Wasan's arrest and confession, police sealed off border areas, restricted movement, and issued warrants for the three women. Thai authorities contacted Myanmar for investigative support. For days, the case dominated headlines, gripping public attention. Prayanuk's name spread nationwide, earning her the moniker Sweetheart Killer. Remarkably, despite widespread wanted notices, the three fugitives showed no signs of fugitives. Rather than hiding, they brazenly posted daily life updates on social media, as if taunting authorities. Prayanuk, in particular, drew attention with confident selfies, amassing a large online following. As time passed, public opinion split. Many youths idolized sweetheart killer Prayanuk, turning her outfits into hot fashion items. Some saw her as an icon, mimicking her style and mannerisms, making everything about her a trend. Conversely, others decried the case's negative societal impact, demanding harsh punishment for the trio as a deterrent. Prayanuk's sister, in a media interview, pleaded for her to surrender, reassuring her that no matter how dire, she shouldn't despair. A week after the murder, Thai and Myanmar police collaboration uncovered the trio's whereabouts. They were hiding in Tachilik, a border city in eastern Myanmar. Security footage from a small-town clothing store clearly captured the three women on the run. Astonishingly, they made no effort to conceal their identities, openly roaming crowded areas and casually sightseeing. Upon receiving the tip, police descended on the town, preparing a large-scale sweep. Realizing escape was futile, the women stepped forward and surrendered voluntarily. Prayanuk, the ringleader, admitted they had reached Tachilik before the border lockdown. Their striking appearances quickly landed them jobs at a local bar. But as the police dragnet tightened, they fled the bar, hiding in the small town. After much discussion, they concluded endless running wasn't sustainable. Rather than being captured, they chose to turn themselves in, hoping for leniency. Once their location was exposed, they walked into the town's police station to confess. Their dramatic appearance instantly captivated the public. Soon after, they were extradited to Thailand. Remarkably, during their escorted transfer to a Thai detention center, they weren't handcuffed. Flanked by a few officers, they appeared relaxed, chatting cheerfully, showing no fear or regret as criminals might. They seemed to revel in the attention. The trio quickly became online celebrities. Some local police even acted friendly, offering snacks and drinks, with one reportedly asking for a selfie. The detention center resembled a fan meet and greet. While detained, the women received special treatment. Not only could they use phones, but they also applied face masks and bantered with staff. Before a police press conference, they smoked and did their makeup right in the station. This sparked a growing backlash online, with many condemning the police for excessive leniency. Warisara's mother voiced outrage, unable to accept that her daughter's killers were treated so indulgently. Police countered that, pending a court verdict, the trio were merely suspects, entitled to legal rights. To quell public anger, two officers who took selfies with Prayanuk and posted them online were reassigned. At the press conference, the women recounted the crime. Though their statements echoed Wasan's, their direct admission amplified public reaction. A new bride, a hostess, dismemberment, body dumping, illicit transactions, infidelity, a same-sex love triangle, sweetheart killer, and face masks, smoking, and makeup in detention. All the hottest buzzwords converged in one case. It became a national talking point. Even the handbag the women carried during their arrest became a coveted fashion item. The saw used in the crime was replicated as keychains, sold in shops. Over time, the case's fervor faded, but on the trial date, a Facebook post reignited attention. On March 1st, 2018, 10 months after the murder, the trial opened at Khon Kaen's local court. The four defendants, Prayanuk Non Wangchai, Kawita Rachada, Apiwan Sataya Bundit, and Wasan Namprom, faced murder and other charges. Wasin's wife, Jitarat Pramkhun, was charged with theft. Warisara's grandmother stood outside the courtroom, clutching her granddaughter's portrait, lighting incense and praying that the perpetrators would face just punishment under the law. Court rules prohibited phones during the trial. Yet, mid-hearing, a Facebook post surfaced, featuring a screenshot of a chat with Prayanuk. In it, she mentioned being at the trial and thanked the person for not shunning her, despite her status as a suspect. Shockingly, the post included a selfie of Prayanuk and the other two female suspects posing in the courtroom, making heart shapes with their hands. Their brazen nonchalance stood in stark contrast to the grief and outrage of Warisara's family outside. This blatant disrespect for the law reignited a firestorm on social media. Many condemned their arrogance, raising concerns about Thailand's justice system. Conversely, Prayanuk's fans went wild, viewing the act as a symbol of defiance. Some even proclaimed the trio innocent. At the trial, the prosecution argued that the defendants had premeditated Warisara's murder, openly flouting the justice system and deserved severe punishment. The defense countered that the three women initially had no intent to kill. They only meant to intimidate Warisara and let her go. But her threats provoked them, leading to an impulsive act in the heat of the moment. Furthermore, their voluntary surrender showed remorse and awareness of their wrongs, prompting the defense to request leniency. Before the court, Prayanuk testified that they hadn't planned to harm Warisara. She expressed regret for her actions, admitting that guilt kept her sleepless every night. The judge deemed the trio's crime heinous, warranting life imprisonment. However, considering their guilty pleas and cooperation with investigators, the court opted for reduced sentences. Per the verdict, Prayanuk Non Wangchai and Kawita Rachada were sentenced to 34 years and 6 months in prison. Apiwan Sataya Bundit received 33 years and 9 months, while Wasin Nampram got 23 years, 4 months, and 20 days. Wasin's wife, Jitarat Pramkhun, was sentenced to 1 year for theft. Additionally, the four main culprits were ordered to pay 100,000 Thai baht, Yao's $2,800 in 2025, in funeral expenses to Warisara's family, with a 7.5% annual interest rate accruing from the crime's date until fully paid. With this ruling, the case was officially closed. Yet its societal ripple effects lingered. Some ardent fans protested the sentences as too harsh, demanding reductions, sparking widespread concern. Psychologists began analyzing why Prayanuk garnered such fervent public adoration. One expert suggested her allure stemmed from her striking appearance, her bold act of confronting a coworker, and her dramatic life story. When faced with a perplexing event, people craved deeper insights into hidden details, and media coverage of the case tapped into that curiosity. Prayanuk's sister, tearfully speaking to the media, lamented that her sister was now branded a cold-blooded monster, with even their family and close friends facing attacks and criticism. Only the court's verdict clarified that Prayanuk hadn't premeditated the crime. She pleaded for the public to avoid one-sided judgments and personal attacks, urging them to give Prayanuk a chance to reform and rebuild her life. But while the culprits might still have a shot at redemption, for Warisara, brutally killed at just 23, her life was forever cut short. And so, today's story comes to a close. Share your thoughts in the comments below so we can discuss. Before you go, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to catch the next classic cases on true crime in the world. Goodbye.